what did you not like about Euro GBP? Because I know some of the guys were trying to buy this morning.
Yeah, I liked EuroCAD better because it was up at the 50. This is coming off the 200, so we know, and I trade off the 200 that can go. It goes to the 50 and comes back. And I've said, because there's a couple of guys reached out to me, sometimes you have to take these positions twice for it to go again. Which obviously it did. It came back down to the 200 and the pivot point.
Right.
But with ECAD, you weren't having to fight it on the way up.
You got nothing above you. That's what I always say. Look at the difference. If you're trading from the 200 to the 50 here, and just so everybody sees, I'll fatten this up so you see it. You have that 50 in your way. But if you look at ECAD, you're on it.
You're clear.
It's like a landing pad, launch pad. You know what I mean? So, okay, now flip that over to Euro USD. Euro USD was very similar, but what did you not like, or were you just not looking at Euro USD?
No, Euro USD was there, but it was still in the Asia range.
So being in the Asian range, you were just like, well, EuroCAD is out of the range.
EuroCAD was out.
So I really hope everybody sees, like, and I'm not just asking her these questions to set her up. It is the way that we go through our checklist. This is the way that you should be working through comparing different pairs to find the highest probability setup, because we talk about selectivity. We talk about being picky with your trades and putting good size into the best trades. You don't do that unless you know how to work down a checklist of, hey, this is in the Asian range. This is not. Okay, let's go with the one that's not, because that's what our system tells us to do, you know? So back to EuroCAD. One more, actually. Why not GCAD with this formation here? I know some of the guys like this. Why did you not like GCAD?
I wasn't really paying much attention to the British pound pairs. And the reason, I'll be honest, the reason being is I have my Euro pairs at the top of my list.
Yep.
So I seen the probability in EuroCAD. So I was happy just to watch. Yep. I was happy to watch that. So that was the reason why I did choose EuroCAD and not British pound CAD, because I did like the two candle formation, but I much preferred EuroCAD. And
you're kind of making the same decision, right? You're like, EuroCAD, GCAD, if I buy one, it's basically saying they're both, right, they're going to move together. All right, so now I have the divergence drawn. Is this very accurate to how you had it drawn this morning?
Yes, the exact same.
So I had my reaction point 1 as my RSI high right here in the Asian session. And then reaction point 2 is my price action high right there. So with this divergence, when we're looking to go long from the 50 EMA here to the divergence line, my first thought is like, and you know this, I don't know if we're going to break the divergence line. I'm never going to forecast and say we will. So what did you do when you saw that divergence line and you're trying to find your potential entry? What was the thought process there?
I knew I had to have my potential risk reward to that divergence line, because like you said, I know it can go to that line, bounce off and come back.
Right. So what are you looking for in a setup? Are you looking for at least 2 to 1?
2 to 1 to the divergence line.
And I had at least 3 with this thing, a little bit more than that.
I just had about just over 2 from my entry.
So either way, you have that space to move to the divergence line. Now, I want to go to the 1 minute and look at exactly where we both took the difference in our positions. But how did you manage this as it hit the divergence line? Did you close any here in profit as I did when it hit the line?
I closed half at the line, and the reason I only closed half because I still considered the higher time frames in my favour, and I knew close half at the line, and then I moved my stop loss into profit, so I wasn't going to lose anything.
That makes sense. Now I'm adding on the ADR indicator right now. What did you do when it hit ADR up here? So ADR was like 105. So considering our risk was about 9 for me, was it similar to 8 or 9 for you?
Yeah, mine was very tight. It was around 9 for me.
So you risk 9, and this thing has now moved 70. I got out of this at best. Yeah, like here, I'll show you my P&L. My best exit was at 66.
I can tell you mine because I've got mine in front. Mine was, I got out at 57.25, 61.3 pips.
That's awesome. So I was at a 57.20, almost 57.21. So very similar, right at that ADR level. So now are you like, because I've seen you do this a couple of times, are you taking the full trade out at ADR?
I took the full
risk reward was good. Yeah. So what do you think about this move that then continues? I just let it go and just say they're not my pips, because I've said it before, I'm not trying to catch the full move. Right.
I'm just trying to catch my piece, following my rules, and I know when it gets to ADR, it can get choppy. It can go beyond it, as we've seen, but I'm happy by that point with my trade. I followed my rules, and I'm happy to come away from the charts.